Hello, Glitch Reaper here. I'm back for another nighttime mob battle. In this case, because somebody pointed out that I didn't actually get to spawn in the vampire from Grimoire of Gaia 3 before, I decided to let the Void Lich go against 3 different vampires from 3 different mods. One's going to be from Dungeon Mobs Reborn, one will be from Grimoire of Gaia 3, and one will be the Vampire Baron from the Vampirism mod. So yeah, maybe I might even, well, I don't know if I'm going to go complete 1 and 3, but it kind of is, because I'm going to be having the 3 different fights in several different ways, kind of like before, because it likes doing range differently. So we'll kind of see how this works out as we go. But yeah, you've seen the Void Lich before. It's kind of an elite mob. You find them in swamps on occasion if you have Voidcraft, so this might just show up in your world and just blow you away. So yeah, that can happen. I'm going to try to see if we can get some ranged attack here. Okay, starting with ranged attack. Seems to be sabotaging itself with the acid again. Yep, there goes the Dungeon Mobs version. And it seems like we temporarily have a tie because of, again, the acid problem. And this stuff is hard to clean up compared to normal, might add, so that makes it really extra annoying. I'll try that again. So, here, from Dungeon Mobs Reborn, we have this one. So, yeah. He's a smiling kind of guy. Oh, directly with the fire. Now, if as long as you don't manifest acid, you might. Oh, yeah, that's a slight problem. Well, he's standing here longer. I think we can kind of say that's kind of a win, but not entirely, because he'll kind of destroy himself with the acid pretty quickly. So that one might tie in a weird way, just because the Void Lich is very reckless. But he does have an overwhelming victory on the vampire, which like never hits back from Dungeon Mobs Reborn, at least at this time. There may be like a future version where there's like some ranged attacks or something, but I don't know. I think that's meant to just stay melee. And of course, we also will be having the one that I missed out on last time, the vampire from Grimoire of Gaia 3. Let's see if, okay, ranged attacks are starting. Okay, now usually whenever the Void Lich fireballs something, it tends to get their attention just like being hit by a gas fireball. Yeah, that again tends to get itself destroyed. Like, I mean, that's not exactly optimal, but it deals a lot of damage in the meantime. Like, if I were to have done this fight earlier with Void Lich and melee, that's what would have happened. Now, let's do that again with the other vampire in melee. Okay, now, you see, now they're pummeling each other, and the vampire from Grimoire of Gaia 3 gets to do heals on impact sometimes. So, if it weren't for that reckless behavior before, the vampire from Grimoire of Gaia 3 would have still won and possibly summoned another butler. So, that shows that this vampire is winning over the Void Lich. So, tier 3 of Grimoire of Gaia 3 is still nothing to sneeze at. Especially whenever you have the vampire here going, hey, I'm that kind of vampire. The vampire lord type. Not regular vampire. So, yeah. So this guy's pretty powerful. And special note, whenever a vampire from Grimoire of Gaia 3 dies, you get a bat. So, there's a bat flying around. that happened. Okay. Now, I was going to move on to the Vampire Baron from Vampirism. The thing about Vampirism is it's not just about vampires, it's also about being vampire hunters. It's about kind of the whole conflict, and you can like choose a side and either be a vampire and get vampire powers, or you can become a vampire hunter and become better at hunting vampires. So, it's a bit more sophisticated than that, but part of the important progression is usually dealing with... Why does this not happen a good portion of the time? Is it really dependent on the light level? Hello? There you go. Why is it that they don't actually spawn in a good portion of the time? I'm still not sure about that. But anyhow, Vampire Barons are a good portion of the progression in the Vampirism mod, and there's certain things you need from Void Liches, from Voidcraft. The others are just kind of optional when it comes to vampires for their respective mods, but these two, between Void Lich and Vampire Baron, they're kind of necessary for certain things, so you kind of are obliged to if you're really going for it. So these are basically going to be your barrier mobs. Now, as before, I will try to start off the Void Lich at a range and see if it manages not to destroy itself this time. And if it needs a little prodding, actually being a little farther away might actually help. Oh, they ran right into melee. They just ran right into melee, and the Void Lich just destroyed the Baron. Just wonk. I mean, that was just destroyed. I was trying to do a ranged thing, but it did not work. Why, again, why do you fail a good portion of the time? This is a weird spawn egg. I have no idea what reasoning this is. And on top of that, they do apparently have levels where, clearly, the Void Lich isn't leveled, showing that that is something within the mod. So maybe right now, the early, like some of the, sometimes it won't get them if it's the wrong level or something. I'm not sure why, but it's just kind of the way it seems to be appearing to me. Just come on, spawn in. There you go. This is a level 2, apparently. So... chasing after him. It's still not a good idea. Nope. I'm trying to get him to range. I really am. But it's just not working out well. And I do need to command them to fight. It's... Oh! Level 3 that actually seems to be working. Okay. So... Because we're going to get them aggressive this way otherwise. They seem to range well. But this guy, no. They just run into melee regardless. And without a target, he likes to just stand there. So, they basically said the Baron just can't seem to win against the Void Lich, but the one that has so far has been the Vampire from Grimoire of Gaia 3, so we've got our champion right here. So yeah, you go, Vampire Lady. You seem to totally be having this going on. You and your endless supply of butlers. So... yeah, I think the Vampire is mostly melee anyhow, so... yeah, but still, that life drain, oh my gosh, that's very appropriate for a vampire. They even got the theme going here. So it's the vampire, the power of the vampire, yeah. I don't want you to be too close to the acid, so I'm just, kind of steering away because I want to kind of pose with the winner here. But yeah, so a bit of pretty quick mob battle, but one that I did want to kind of get through at some point. And with a little reminder, I'm going, just Void Lich versus vampires. That just works as the title, so I gotta go for that. Anyhow, for now, this has been Glitch Reaper here with our champion, the vampire from Grimoire of Gaia 3. So I'll be logging off. Hope to hear from y'all later. So bye for now, everybody, and the champion has ran off.